Clicker training. So I love doing clicker training. For those of you that don't know, this little device here is a clicker. They come in many shapes and sizes, but this teardrop looking one is the best in my opinion. I have another one that like attaches to my finger only. It's okay, but I still prefer this one. So as a trainer, I think doing clicker training is awesome, and you can get actually a lot of really good dogs if these are used like perfectly. So that, in my opinion, is where kind of the issue comes. So in reality, I don't use them in the training programs because my clients aren't professional dog trainers. I'm not training dog trainers yet. As of course, as I hire more, I have to train them. But I'm focused on clients and people with dogs and just dog owners, not dog professionals. So I don't use it in the training programs because there's just so much that they have to learn to be able to be good at just training their own dog. So from teaching the commands to how do I correct them if they break the command without me telling them to. What do I do in this situation, that situation? How do I use the leash? How do I use a prong collar? How do I use the collar controller? Like, there's a lot of stuff they need to focus on versus a clicker. All right. So there are trainers out there that teach it. I just don't because the more advanced stuff that I teach is outside of get off of that. Outside of what the owners need. So, but like sometimes some of the dogs that I work with will go into teaching scent work, whether it be for competitions or whether it be just as like a fun game for them to do. That's when I will bust this out. So at that point, we've been through the program. They're understanding dog stuff. They're understanding training. Blah 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 blah. It's like, all right, well, you want to teach your dog how to scent work? Let's use this. Okay. But because that's about the only time I'll use it with owners for that, it just does so well. It's really fun to do. So instead of using when it comes to my training program, so backing up a little bit, instead of using in a clicker, I use a verbal marker. So a verbal marker is when the dog does what I want them to do. So I tell my dog sit. As soon as their butt touches the ground, I say yes, and then I reward them. It's the same concept with a clicker. So same situation, but we're using a clicker. I tell the dog to sit. As soon as their butt touches the ground, and then I give them food. So the marker word and the clicker itself are used basically the exact same way, just a tool or your voice, in my opinion. So they're basically the same thing. One is just easier to implement within my training program for clients. So if you want to get a little more advanced, I use this as an advanced tool, even though most dog trainers will use it as a basic tool. So it's different. It's just a different way. Excuse me. It's a different way of getting the behaviors we're wanting from the dogs. So, but yeah, if you have questions on the clicker, let me know.